Table 1. Non-uniform timing of mistaken facts. Amalgamated Investment v. John Walker. The mistaken facts must exist before the contract is concluded. Row 2. Mutual mistake. Raffles v. Wichelhaus. There is such ambiguity that no agreement could be found. Row 3. Mutual mistake. Smith v. Hughes. The test for agreement is objective. Row 4. Common mistake. Kircherier v. Hasty. Res extincta at the time of the contract but unknown to the parties. The subject matter of the contract ceased to exist. Row 5. Common mistake. SGA 1979 S.6. Res extincta at the time of the contract but unknown to the parties. The subject matter of the contract ceased to exist. Row 6. Common mistake. McRae v. Commonwealth Disposals. Res extincta at the time of the contract but unknown to the parties. The subject matter of the contract ceased to exist. Row 7. Common mistake. Cooper v. Phibbs. Res sua at the time of the contract but unknown to the parties. The subject matter already belongs to purchaser. Row 8. Common mistake. General rule. A fundamental mistake as to a fact or quality does not allow parties to avoid the contract. Row 9. Common mistake. Bell v. Lever Bros. Exception to the general rule: unless the mistake is so fundamental it destroys the nature of the agreement. Row 10. Common mistake. Nicholson and Venn v. Smith Marriott. The mistake must go the core of the contract. O'Bitter in the judgment of this case says it could have been an example of common mistake. Row 11. Common mistake. Leaf v. International Galleries. The mistake must go the core of the contract. O'Bitter in the judgment of this case says it could have been an example of common mistake. Row 12. Common mistake. Great Peace Shipping v. Salvaloris Salvage. Affirmation of the fundamental difference test. Row 13. Unilateral mistake. Hartog v. Collin and Shields. If the price is significantly lower than it should be due to a mistake, then a contract may not be in force even if all other elements are present, as this is a unilateral mistake. Row 14. Unilateral mistake. Ellis Strange v.F. Grocop Ltd. When a document containing contractual terms is signed, in absence of fraud or misrep, the party signing is bound by the terms. Row 15. No matter if read/understood or not, no mistake is present. Row 16. Unilateral mistake. Thorogood's case. Exception to: if you sign you're bound non est factum left parent not my deed right parent due to incapacity left parent illiterate right parent. Row 17. Unilateral mistake. Foster v. McKinnon. Exception to: if you sign you're bound non est factum left parent not my deed right parent due to fraud left parent senial right parent. Row 18. Unilateral mistake. Saunders v. Anglia Building Society. Exception to: if you sign you're bound non est factum left parent not my deed right parent but can use negligence as a defense. Row 19. Unilateral mistake: distance selling. Cundy v. Linde. If the course of dealing are at a distance and the mistake is as to the identity and only identity, then the rouge did not gain good title of the chattel. Row 20. Unilateral mistake: distance selling. Kings Norton v. Edridge Merritt. If the course of dealing are at a distance and the mistake is as to the identity but the creditworthiness of the mistaken identity is what induced. Row 21. The innocent party into the contract, then the rouge did gain good title of the chattel, as the courts look at identity not attributes. Row 22. Unilateral as to identity: face to face. Phillips v. Brooks. A contract cannot be void for mistake when in the course of face-to-face dealings as the contract is made with the person present. It is instead voidable for misrep. Row 23. Unilateral as to identity: face-to-face. Ingram v. Little. A contract can be void for mistake if seller makes adequate checks as to identify of the party they are dealing with, as this shows that. Row 24. The identity is fundamental to inducement. Ignore this case though bad law. Row 25. Unilateral as to identity: face-to-face. Lewis v. Avery. Affirmation of Phillips v. Brooks. The creditworthiness is an attribute of the mistaken identity and so no voidable. Row 26. Current position of mistake. Shogun Finance v. Hudson, Row 27. And ownership of chattel. SGA 1979 S.23. If the goods of the contract have passed on to a third party and that third party was unaware of the fraud before the contract was, Row 28, avoided, the third party obtains good title of the chattel in question.